Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Good morning, Turkey Tots.
We are here with there's a song that I was singing that made me get on this topic, but apparently if you even sing like a dingle of a song on YouTube, they can flag you for copyright. I mean, I don't think we have the viewership where somebody's gonna snag us for it, but apparently it's a real thing even if you like hum somebody's tune.
Wow, that's intense.
That's a lot. Okay. Well, what's happening is it started because this conversation started in my head of is anybody else this big of an overthinker? Because you know how iPhone has you can edit your texts?
Mm-hmm.
I realized the other day that I feel like I'm being dishonest when I edit a text because then nobody knows that I made a mistake, except it says edited. You know, iPhone still like tattles on you. But then I feel like the person should know. Are they going to wonder
What you
what I
edited.
actually typed and then my correction? So I'm out here still like doing the asterisks, which is also half laziness because I feel like it's faster for me to do that than to sit there and then like scroll to the spot where I made the error. Or sometimes I just don't correct things at all and hope you figure it out. But that was what got me thinking, like, I am out here. I am over analyzing the shit out of things all the time. And I'm curious if this is just a feature of my own personality or if other people have similar overthinking problems.
I totally get that. The editing thing. Depending on who I'm texting, I'll do the edit. But sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to asterisk this because it's one word. I don't want you to think that I said something, that I deleted it and then changed the whole thing. I'm just like, no.
Yep.
So I totally get it. I feel like we all have stuff that we overthink. I think I overthink, and then I think I have, as a Libra, decision fatigue, and I like freeze.
Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis was the word I was looking for. And then sometimes I think I overthink, and then overthinking turns into underthinking. So, for example, this is so embarrassing. We bought a sink, like a cabinet with a sink for our laundry room. You've seen it, likely.
Okay.
It is still not in functional use.
Okay.
Because we have yet to figure out or take the steps to just get a plumber out there and connect the damn thing. It's been sitting there for 2.5 years.
2.5?
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah, that's so bad. But here's the thing. It's a great holding spot for the stuff I need to wash, especially the kids' clothes, which is the whole point of the sink in there anyway, was for like the poopy clothes and the stuff that we need to soak and like blah, blah, blah. So it's like half of its use is working. But I don't know why. I think we're overthinking it because we want to make sure it's good. So, then we've gotten overwhelmed and now we've stopped thinking at all. Now it's just sitting.
I truly feel like you could hook it up.
I know, but that's the thing. I'm like, we could probably just do it. And then like my dad wants to get involved. Love you, Dad. But like you have a way of complicating things. And then we could just hire someone too. But I'm like, that's kind of, we just don't, I don't know why we're so stuck on this. It's so stupid.
Funny. That is so funny, dude.
Yeah. So again, I think I turn my overthinking into the opposite, but it starts with overthinking.
We'll just make that my project when I come out to visit you next. I'll just hook
Okay.
up your sink. You already have the water hookup, right?
Mm-hmm. It should be fairly easy.
Yeah. Oh, this is what we're doing. This is definitely what we're doing the next time I come over. If it's not done by Cody's birthday, we'll do it.
I love it.
Okay,
the thing is, like, you have to, sorry, I just have to clarify. You have to, like, it's not just a straight situation because of the way the cabinet sits and the plug. It's like you have to do some connecting pieces, which again is probably not that difficult.
You know, I didn't know this until we changed our sink in our kitchen, but Jason we found something at Lowe's. It was just like a flexible pipe. Because we had old and we were retrofitting a sink. And so it all kind of had to cram into the small space and he didn't really want to get into complicated plumbing. So we literally bought this thing that's somewhat flexible and sort of just jangled it around what was already there.
Interesting.
That was very helpful.
I feel like there's something for everything.
This is going to be such a fun project. This won't be nearly as hard as the time that I changed out my inside of my toilet don't even get me started. It's not worth it. Okay. I've got numerous examples and I'm going to move through them at a somewhat normal pace, hopefully. I would also like to say that I think probably after 99% of the conversations I have with people, I have immediate regret that I've overshared. Immediate. It doesn't matter. Anytime. I just, as soon as I walk away from a conversation, I was like, that wasn't my best work. I don't know what that is, but I can't turn it off. I mean, I can like ignore, I'd be like, okay, we're just going to move on and ignore it because it already happened. We can't go back. But if I could edit and resend verbal conversations, I probably would get stuck just doing that all day.
Yeah, I think about that stuff sometimes, but then I'm a compartmentalist and I do a really good job of just like, well, that probably wasn't great. And then I'm just like, I don't want to think about it anymore. And then I move on, or else I'll stress myself out. Okay, well, this is new, but you just reminded me when I go to Home Depot, the overthinking that happens and the overload of information is so real. I don't know if I'm on the same page as you with like exactly what you're deciphering here, but like that to me is so overwhelming and I overthink everything because like with the pipes we have tried and it's like, well, this size is 1/800th of an inch smaller. And there's this one, and then there's that one. There's a plastic one, there's a metal one, and then there's this weird material that I didn't realize was happening. But then all the other stuff is like all across the store on aisle 300, and no one's there to help me. No one's ever helping.
I know. I mean, I'm fully aware of the fact that I just follow my husband around like an oblivious idiot every time we go in a hardware store of any kind for these projects. But I do try to pay attention so I at least know something for later. But I feel you. I sometimes just stand there and be like, look at all these just shins. Like if you just
Even
stand in the plumbing section, I'm like, what is all of this shit? And
even if you
sometimes I
just
watch him look at stuff. I'm like, how do you even know what you're looking at, bro?
I don't go to Home Depot or Lowe's without Kenny anymore. But even just standing in the nail and screw aisle,
Yeah,
it's a nail or a screw. And there's
I know.
1,000 different kinds.
Yeah. And some of them cost $10,000. I feel you.
It's
I
so
get it.
stressful.
Here's another cool feature of my overthinking that any phantom pain I feel, I'm immediately certain I'm dying and then I spiral out of amok.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure.
It's really cool when you're in the medical field and then you have all of these examples of a time where somebody had a phantom pain and did actually perish.
No, 100%. Well, it doesn't help too that we have Instagram now. And so any little thing I think is like, oh my God, it's whatever, it's this, it's that. And you just freak yourself out about all
Hmm.
the things. Yep, 100%. Um, okay, speaking of overthinking, you know me with my cooking and recipes. Have you seen that funny meme where it's like it's a video, but it's like 1 tablespoon on the recipe sheet. And then she looks at the 1 tablespoon. It's like, okay, 1 tablespoon. Okay, 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon. Got it. She scoops the thing. She's looking at it. It goes back and forth like 20 times, like tablespoon, tablespoon, one tablespoon. Okay. And then she literally dumps it in. And then she looks back and it's like 1 teaspoon. That's how I feel with every recipe. And I've tried to channel my inner Kaylee with like not caring so much. But some of the things I'm just like, I can't mess this up that much. I can't just pour in 3 times as much salt or whatever. So anyway, I've been getting better, but definitely a recipe and definitely a recipe that I have to scroll through a 5,000 page story to get to. Immediately like overwhelm, analysis paralysis. I'm not going to make this recipe today. Oh, and then it's like there's one ingredient that I'm missing that I don't have. It's like a weird aloof ingredient. And then I have to go to the store and then I can't find it in the store. Again, maybe that's not overthinking. Maybe that's overwhelm. But I overthink trying to do the recipe perfectly.
Yeah. I feel you.
It drives me crazy.
I have this new theory. This is part of my other thing I realized with my overthinking is I just feel like I have an overactive imagination or something. But I do this thing now where when I'm playing Wordle, you know how now there's ads?
I haven't played Wordle in a while, to be
Okay.
honest.
You have things to do that are real. But I'll play Wordle in the morning and there's ads between like Wordle and connections. Like if you try to go from the first game to your second game. I do this thing now where I don't look at my phone because in my head I'm like, you can't make me watch this ad. Somehow that's preventing me from being influenced.
my
somehow I'm
gosh.
getting ahead on New York Times by not looking at their ad.
Even though you have to sit there and stare at the ceiling for 15 or 30 seconds.
It's so stupid. I do this every day, though. I just somehow feel like it's doing something for me.
Hey, it probably is because I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory or not, but I'm sure they're tracking our biometrics through our phone and they're looking at us. Look, is it the right word? Biometrics? Probably not. They're looking at our behavior, like if they see our eyes on a page for too long or
Uh,
whatever. I know they say that you can't see, but I don't know. I mean, I like that Apple like shows you the green light when the camera is on,
mhm.
or and then a different color for when there's audio. I swear on a lot of things that one time it turned on unprompted unnecessarily. I didn't open my camera, I didn't open
No.
Marco Polo, I didn't open my phone, like my call thing. So anyway, now I just think that they're probably all listening and watching. So yeah, I think it's good that you're looking away from the screen.
Yeah. Screw you, New York Times. You can't make me watch your ads.
It sucks that they have ads now. I guess it is free. Okay. Making a call for whatever reason, I overthink. I feel like I'm pretty good for our generation to just like pick up the phone and call the doctor and schedule an appointment or like whatever that is. Sometimes I just overthink the call, especially if it's not something I'm used to. It's like something I have to figure out. Like I have to call our homeowners insurance and I have to like go through the thing or I have to like renew and maybe change our auto insurance. And I'm kind of thinking about switching our phone carriers, except I'm delaying it because overthinking Kayla turns into overwhelmed Kayla, which then turns into analysis paralysis Kayla. And all that to be said is I overthink it because I'm just like, oh, they're going to need this, they're going to need that, and I'm not home and I need this. And I hate, I don't mind picking up the phone and scheduling like an eye doctor appointment or a dentist appointment or whatever. When I have to call and like discuss thoroughly about insurance, like specifically is the example I'm thinking of,
Uh,
I just want to cry and go in a hole.
yeah. Yeah. I passed that off on my husband. Thank you, Jason. Oh, here's a good one. I have this fun thing where I am so busy monitoring myself and the other person in a conversation, especially with a new person, that I completely disable my ability to remember their name completely.
Mhm.
I can tell you the entire conversation. I can tell you all about the energy and their vibes and the internal analysis that I've created off of that and probably their psychological profile, but I cannot tell you what their name is. And no matter how much when I'm like, can't, I won't, I can't turn it
Mhm.
off. My brain's just like, yay! And then it's gone.
Literally, I mean, for both of our jobs, I think it's the same thing. I'm like, remember, do the thing where you say like Kate for kite because she looks like a diamond.
Gonna float away.
Whatever. Yeah, it's so hard for me. Unless I repeat their name like 3 times within the first like 2 minutes, it's gone forever.
Starbucks was
Forever.
the only way that I could do it
Oh,
because
yeah.
they said it to you. You wrote it down. Like they said it to me, so I heard it with my ears. I said it back to them and I used my mouth, and then I wrote it with my hand and I saw it with my eyes. And that was the only way.
The writing excuse me. The writing thing for me is what helps unlock it a little bit, but I would say that only works 20% of the time. But if you hear it, write it down, and then say it, I'm sure that maybe
And see it.
jumps your odds up
Yeah.
50%. Yeah.
But and I also did that like quite a bit with the same folks, so that probably helped too. But
Yeah,
yeah, that
that's
was the
true.
only time I probably used up all of the space in my brain for names, and it's now customers that I'll never see again.
Okay, my last one is more all encompassing, but when we were talking about this episode, you had given me an example. And I was thinking, man, there have been multiple times in my life where I have either been gifted or I have bought myself. I have gone out of my way to buy myself something that I wanted, probably kind of like the sink. And then I didn't use it because I didn't know where to start. First of all, Kayla does not like instructions. So that is always passed over to Kenny as well. I don't know why I shut down. Like I'm a very smart woman and I just don't like instructions because I feel like it takes too long to get through them. Anyway, like I bought a did I buy that digital camera? Whatever. I had it for so long and didn't use it because I don't know. I just did not use a new product. I've bought pots and pans that I didn't use because I was like overthinking about keeping them clean. and didn't want it. I'm just like, this is so stupid. And there's been so many things where I buy them and then I just let them sit there. It's like when you buy a cake and the cake is too pretty to eat, and then you're like, I don't feel like I should even eat it. And that's where I start overthinking things.
Dude, it's my favorite. I personally experienced the pots and pans. Because one, it was overthinking the organization and how we were going to put away. And then two, it was overthinking the next meal that you were going to do is probably going to be messy. And maybe you should wait until after you cooked that to whip them out. And I love this about you so much.
It's so ridiculous.
Let me zip through the rest of mine because I clearly have a problem. Okay, this happened to me yesterday. It was 5:30 in the morning and we were getting ready to leave for the gym, and I started putting on my socks and shoes, and then I sat there for 10 minutes and thought, do people put their stuff on left sock, left shoe, right shoe, or left sock, left shoe, right sock, right shoe,
Mm.
or
You're
vice
sitting
versa?
there with your socks and shoes.
Yeah. Do you do socks? Do you do each sock and then each shoe, or do you do each foot in its entirety?
No, I feel like that feels weird. If I have a full sock and shoe on and then bare on the other side, I think I'm a sock, shoe. And I
Okay,
don't think
well
it
then,
matters the order.
okay, so that was my other question is I'm right-handed, but I start with my left foot. Is that weird?
Oh, I don't think about that. The only thing I do know I do is I put my pants are always the same, and my socks, I don't have a first foot sock.
Okay, well now you're gonna think about it. Next time you put on socks and shoes, you're welcome. But then I was literally doing that, having this whole conversation with myself about what do I do and what do other people do, and is this normal? And then I realized it's 5:30 in the morning and I just need to put my shoes on so I can leave.
Yeah.
Like, why was I doing this whole analysis? I have a fun thing where if I touch a chemical, I swear to God, I give myself a rash, but it's not from the chemical. It's from the psychosomatic reaction to thinking I'm going to get one. I am still mulling over something that happened with a physician at work a few weeks ago, in which I'm not sure if he was joking or not. Like, in the moment, I thought he was joking, so I responded as if he were joking, and then I walked away and thought maybe he wasn't joking, and I think about it every day. It doesn't even affect my job. Like, he's not in charge of me. Nothing bad's going to happen. I just can't stop. Also, here's a fun one. I know that my husband, when he texts me and writes okay, period, that's just how he types. He puts
No.
at the end of everything. He's so formal, but I'm still like 75% sure he hates me every time he does it, especially if I'm about to have my period.
Yep.
I also realize a portion of my overthinking is that I'm super fucking nosy, and we've been visiting a family member in the hospital this last week. And as I walk down the hallway, I can't not look in the rooms. I don't know how to stop.
I do that too. Even when I don't want to.
No, I don't want to. Every time there's been someone in a room, I've been like, me, and it feels inappropriate, and I don't know how to turn it off. And I have to conscientiously be like, keep your eyes straight. I can't.
But I'm
anyway.
so curious. I know it's bad.
I'm so goddamn nosy. Also, a version of overthinking are the intrusive thoughts. I know we all have them. Sometimes though, I feel like I follow them of like, what if I drive over this bridge? And if I don't pay attention, I will run the whole scenario through of how are they going to recover my body? Is my family going to know what kind of burial preparations I would prefer to save them money? Do they know I don't really care about a funeral? And then by the time I get to the funeral, I'm usually like, oh my God, Jason's going to be so sad without me. I hope he never remarries. That's selfish. And then
my God, you went really deep.
Some of this is probably that I'm neurotic. This is a hypervigilance example of my overthinking, but I realize that 9 times out of 10, when I go to the bathroom in a single stall, I consider what I would do if somebody tried to bust in behind me to follow me in the bathroom. And I ran a self-defense scenario yesterday at the gas station. Nobody is around me. Nobody wants to attack me. It's 9 in the morning.
I would prefer you overthink in that scenario. I think that's smart.
And okay, last but not least, I love knowing information and I love podcasts and I love having info, but knowing about the chemicals in our food and the pesticides and all of these things, I sit here sometimes and I'm like, I know what's in it, but I still sort of maybe want to eat something dumb. And then how much poison is allowable? And isn't that a stupid conversation even to just be having? And then I think about that I'm eating it, and then all the time I ate it before I knew anything. And then is that going to give me cancer? But is thinking about cancer just drawing it to you? And then I don't know how to turn it off. But then I don't want to stop having information because I'm genuinely just interested in topics.
It's so hard when you know too much and you're like, well, now I have to grate my own cheese and I have to make my own yogurt. And I'm just so stupid. It's so stupid.
Anyway, I
But
clearly
yeah,
need a hobby and I need something to do, and probably more of a meditation practice. That's my takeaway from this week.
I just need to do things and not procrastinate.
I'll just come visit you on like a to-do list. It'll give me something to do, something to focus on. You'll get stuff done. Perfect friendship. Love you. Bye.
Bye.